Hey all, this is just a weekly video on this week's reading in The Outsiders. This week we are going to tackle chapters 3 through 5. So let's get started. This week, what can you expect? We have a series of Google Meets for each one of the class periods. It's going to be at 2. This will be pretty quick. It is just a short, quote-unquote, is everything okay? Q&A. I'll talk to you about assignments that I have assigned and what the rest of the year is going to look like. I will give you 10 points for just writing a line and let me see your face. Cherry Valance and Ponyboy were having a talk in the previous chapters about the difference between Greasers and SOCS. These two seem to be talking to each other just fine, so what's the difference between the two? Cherry kind of stated it in chapter 4. Greasers are overly emotional. They act on an instant, kind of a knee-jerk reaction. SOCS, on the other hand, are a little bit more dangerous. Why? Because they're unemotional, numb, kind of superficial. But what happens with these emotions? They end up, if you bottle them up, it kind of causes a bigger reaction. So SOCS end up being a little bit more violent than Greasers do. At the end of chapter 4, I always thought that when Cherry Valance said, "I hope I never see Dallas Winston again," was pretty random, but there's a little bit more behind it. She lives in a very unfeeling world, and when Dally was just kind of joking around with her, that made her feel something, and she became attracted to him. Also, it could be that she kind of likes bad boys. The death of their parents is pretty fresh. The Curtis family lost their parents only 8 months ago. This has put each one of the boys in a role that they really aren't used to. Darry is only 20. Now he's in charge with being a parent and making sure that Ponyboy doesn't get taken in by the foster system. He's tough, but he's not used to the role as being a dad. So he's trying the best he can. The night things went bad. When we left the story, Marcia and Cherry were walking with the guys. After Randy decided to get drunk, Randy and Bob decided to get drunk at the drive-in. Well, they find him, confront him, and the Greasers now have a target on their back. Ponyboy, after the incident, Ponyboy falls asleep with Johnny in the lot, and he comes home late. Like any parent, when they break curfew, Darry is waiting for him and gets frustrated and slaps him and kind of plows him to the ground. Again, their parents have just died. This is a new normal that these boys are not used to. So Ponyboy doesn't know how to handle this, so he runs away. Like in Of Mice and Men, Hinton gives clues about what is going to happen, what is about to happen in the lot. We know that Johnny is paranoid because he was jumped 4 months before. We know that he carries around a switchblade. We also know that Bob and Randy are targeting the Greasers because they were walking with the girls earlier. This leads to the tragedy of this scene. Well, the boys don't know what to do, so who do they go to get help from? Dallas Winston. Why? Because they know he's going to help them and not ask too many questions. If he did ask questions, he really wouldn't care. Dally's kind of seen everything, doesn't judge anybody, and he gets the guys, what they need and gets them to the country. Now, the scene with Ponyboy dreams of the country, and dreams are supposed to be good. But here's the ironic part. This time in the country is not good. It's pretty tragic. Their time is not a peaceful and serene scene. Now, the question about Ponyboy's eyes. This is an obvious element put in by the author. Now, gray is the in-between of black and white, kind of like our narrator. He sees good and bad in everyone, whether it be a SOCS or a Greaser. So this is the kind of narrator you want to have. Chapter 5. Why is it any big deal that Pony cuts his hair? This is a form of identity. He is really proud of the fact he grows it out. He's really proud of the fact it's all greasy. And when they cut it, you're kind of he's cutting away his Greaser self. So he really doesn't like it. I don't know if you picked up on this, but Johnny is becoming kind of a big brother to and caretaker to Ponyboy. I don't know if he feels responsible because he's the one who killed who murdered that guy. But anyway, Johnny also thinks that Dally is Rhett Butler. Who's Rhett Butler? He's the main character in Gone with the Wind. How is he gallant? It's pretty easy in the book, so you can kind of figure that out. Pony is scared of Dallas Winston. Why? Because he thinks of everybody else in the novel as having heroic qualities. But, like in a novel, Dallas Winston, though, is more real, and that scares him. Okay, premonition. That is something something bad is going to happen. Just a feeling that something bad is going to happen. Do we know this? Yes. Also, there's a question in what's a heater? That's a gun. Dallas starts carrying around his gun when things get heated up between the SOCS and the Greasers. Here's the thing, it's not loaded. He does it just for intimidation purposes. Nothing gold can stay. This is a big one. You're going to have a small assignment. I'm going to post it on Wednesday about this poem. It's a Robert Frost poem. Pony says he doesn't really know what it means, but he's kind of living the meaning. Nature's first green is gold. Her heart is hue to hold. What's a hue? That's a color. So her early leaves a flower, but only for an hour. How long does a leaf, like when you go from summer to fall, leaves change colors. But how long? Not for very long. Then leaf subsides to leaf. So Eden sank to grief. So dawn goes down today, nothing gold can stay. Kind of like the leaves that turn from summer to autumn, they stay briefly, and it's beautiful, but it never stays. You got sunsets. They're beautiful for a minute, but then they go away. Anyway, that I will post it on Wednesday night or Thursday morning, and you have until Sunday to get it done. Okay, this week's recap. Here's the thing. There's a lot of missing work. Get it done. Read chapter 3 and 5. Do chapters 3, chapters 4, chapters 5 questions. This is due in Google Classroom by Friday. Again, the short Robert Frost assignment and the weekly quiz. I want to tell you this again. I know a lot of you guys have read the book, but I will not grade your quiz unless you turn in the questions. These are easy. Again, you don't have to do full sentences. You just have to have full answers. So if you have any questions, please let me know. You can save it for the Google Meets. You guys know my number. You guys know my email. Okay, have a good week, guys.